Let's do some drywall.
So here we are on a job. This has a diagonal crack. This diagonal crack's been repaired by some other drywaller. So we're just scraping out this loose stuff that they fixed prior. It obviously didn't work or hold up. This is a diagonal crack. What I'm doing here is called a V-notch technique. V-groove or V-notch. All that means is that we're just taking the razor blade on each side of the crack at a 45-degree angle, and I'm cutting out the area, basically channeling, V-notching the area, the damaged area. I throw some screws in. I want to put a lot of screws in because obviously there's some movement here to cause this area to crack out more than once. So put a bunch of screws in. I'm trying to find a stud here. There's only stud on the sides, no studs, so that's probably why it's cracking out. There's only one stud there. Get a couple more screws. I like to put a lot of screws in whenever I can on areas that obviously re-crack out. I'm trying to get a screw in the angle. It's really tight, so that's probably why it's cracking. There's nothing to screw to. Other side of the door, same thing. You had the same repair there. I'm just digging it out, getting out the old stuff that someone else did. I don't know what they did here. All I can do is just remove their tape and get rid of their bad work that isn't bonded well. Just scrape it all off. It's just coming off like butter. I don't know what they used here. That's why I don't like to fix other people's work, because I don't know what they put on prior. Right here I got the crack exposed. Same thing here. I'm V-notching. V-notch, V-notch. 45-degree angle on the seam. And I'm just basically channeling it open. Making a nice channel. V-notch, V-groove. Mark there the stud. Once I get it channeled out, basically that opens it up and gets all that loose stuff out of there. I like to throw a lot of screws. Try to throw as many screws as you can every couple inches or so. In my last videos I say not to put a lot of screws, but in this area I want to put a lot of screws because obviously this area is a trouble area. It's cracked out more than once, so I'm repairing it. So I don't want to have to repair this again. So screws are cheap, so let's put a bunch of screws in here, as many as we can on the next stud. Tighten it up. Now that the V-groove's opened up, there's screws in it, it's ready to go. So I'm going to usually pre-fill this gap. Since I opened up the channel, we're going to pre-fill it with a 5-minute mud, or you can fill it up with a joint compound. I use a 5-minute mud, that way I'm able to finish my job in one trip, so I only set up one time and clean up one time, and that's it. Put a bunch of screws in. I want to make sure I get a bunch in this angle to really tighten up the sheetrock. It's really loose, so I want to get some screws in. Scrape up the area, get it ready for tape. Just clean it up a little more. You can open it up nice and wide. It's big and wide. Almost you want to cut out the sheetrock, but this will work. I'm pre-filling now the V-notch gap. We made a big gap there. I pre-filled it. Now I'm following it with the fiberglass tape. One section of tape's good, but I'm going to put it 2 layers. You want to just double layer it because it is a trouble area. So if it cracks after this, you know you got some structural movement, bad framing issue here. Because if it cracks after V-notching and doing fiberglass, 2 layers of fiberglass and a pre-fill and a hot mud over it, then you definitely got some movement here, because this is as strong as it gets. It's going to be the strongest point in the wall with everything we're doing here. So just nice heavy coat on it. I'm just first coating it like it was a patch or any other work. We always first coat. And the angle here, I'm just putting the angle, got into the angle, so we're just doing the angle, filling it in. Nice heavy first coat. Then we're going to work on the other side. You can see how I'm pre-filling it, pre-filling that V-notch. Just pre-fill it, pack it in there. We're just getting the mud inside there, so it's really getting inside the damaged area. Same thing, take my fiberglass the seam, press down, and then we're going to do 2 layers, just in case. We got a trouble area here, so I'm just going to put an extra layer of fiberglass just in case. Now take my extra mud and just basically fill it in, and we're going to first coat this area with a 5-minute mud. You don't always have to use 5-minute. You can use joint compounds or anything else. I like to use the 5 minutes, like I said, because I do these jobs from start to finish, one trip. It's set up now. Now I'm sponging it out. It's been about 5 minutes. I'm taking the wet sponge, 6-inch knife like in my other videos, and just slicking it out. Just pushing it down pushing the mud inside that gap, just really taking off the excess mud and just leaving the mud where it's needed. I don't want a big bulge on it, so that's why we do this sponging technique. Same thing here. I'm just taking the sponge, hit the edges, work the angle, get the edges, get some moisture on it, and then take the 6 and slick it out. I'm pushing down, hard, hard, hard. I'm trying to get that materials pushed in that gap and take off the extra materials. The extra materials, take it to fill in any bad areas, and then take all your extra materials off. Just hit the edges again, just double check everything. Now everything's dry. This is a second coat. Second coat with the same thing, 5-minute mud. I'm just doing a tight skim over everything. We already did the nice heavy first coat and it's ready to go. This is just a tight skim second coat to make it perfect. I am working with the camera on my head, so I am bobbing and moving, but we are on the job working, so that's why these jobs are the way they are. Same thing here, just do a nice heavy second coat. I'm going past my first coat work. Nice coat, make it nice and pretty. Second coat's dry. Now I'm hitting it with the sponge. It's been about 3 to 5 minutes. So you go over it again with the sponge. Take your 6 and your clean 6 and slick it out. Slick, 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 slick. You just take all that excess material out. We don't want a big hump on the wall, so that's why we work the material and get off the excess. We don't want a hump on the wall. We want a nice straight patch. Same thing here. Slick it out. Slick, slick, slick it out. Just slick out the muds. Take off all the extra muds, and you're pushing down and taking off the excess material as you're working it. Like I said, this is 3 to 5 minute mud. That's 5-minute mud, so you want to work with it. Now we're doing a spray splatter. I'm just doing a quick splatter with the hopper, a regular joint compound. This mud has to dry overnight. This is a different material than the quick set mud. I never spray quick sets on patches. I always use a joint compound or a spray texture whenever I do spray textures. Same thing here, just doing a quick spray. I just put some